J shift. Drop a bag mission on my back, night hits. Tango in the shadows on attack, coast stack, syntax, fingers moving like a mag. Discipline embedded in the way I counteract. Heartbeat running like a drill, sergeant cadence. Every little glitch getting clear with impatience. Stab mode calm, but the streams where the rage is. Hunter in the dark, taking aim at the agents. Boots on the floor, but the keyboard's my weapon. Ops in the chat, every viewer gets a lesson. Tech in my veins, every bite I'm addressing. Enemies tested at the lead 'em in a second. Never been a quitter, I'm a problem architect. Military mindset, keep the chaos in check. Every demon in the dead are getting caught in my net. Tango hunter on the rise, yeah, the systems and that.
Fast pace, no break, runtime overload. Dead string, night shift, tactical mode. Every single challenge getting instantly owed to the soldier in the shadows with the code that explodes.
Eldridge in the runtime, watch 'em bow. Hey, hunter in the mainframe, watch 'em bow. Hey, discipline and logic make 'em bow. Hey, day by day, but the night they bow. Every demon process make 'em bow. Every glitch in memory make 'em bow. Tango in the system make 'em bow. Runtime ritual make 'em bow. Runtime ritual make 'em bow. Fast like a heartbeat in the combat, stress sharp like a soldier when the squad's under threat. Calm like a father when the world's a mess, but the moment I go live, I'm a certified threat. I bind every breathing, I'm a digital ghost. Under in the code, taking aim at the host. Every little ever getting cooked in toast. I'm the dad with the discipline to heal the most. Night ops active, I'm a one-man squad. Streamlights flicker like the wrath of a god. Tech train mind, every line is mod. I'm the glitching matrix that the system outlawed. Hey, Eldritch in the runtime, watch 'em bow. Hey, hunter in the mainframe, watch 'em bow. Hey, discipline and logic make 'em bow. Hey, day by day, but the night they bow. Every demon process make 'em bow. Every glitch in memory make 'em bow. Tango in the system make 'em bow. Runtime ritual make 'em bow. Runtime ritual make 'em bow.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Scene. I've got to fix that. I made some adjustments to my webhook and my stream starting thing, and it put me in the wrong scene, and it did not do my webhook correctly. So, but I can fix that stuff later. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna pick up where we left off last time. Let's see, we got, hold on, before we even get into it, let's see, Metallic we got first, and side checked in too. Thank you guys for being here, appreciate it. So, we're just doing some 3D modeling in Fusion 360. So, this is, I guess I have to do it this way. This is a riser station for my 3D printer. So the 3D printer is just going to sit on top of this. So, and then I've got channels for the bearings where the drawers are going to go. And then on this side, there is a French cleats that is going to be for the purge station. So the purge station is going to kind of hang off this French cleat, and it'll collect all the 3D printed waste from the 3D printer when it changes filament colors. So there's that. There's cutouts for the two arms that go up, and there's cutouts for the wiring right there. So otherwise, I've just got to design the drawers. So, and then these, where this section will print separate from this section, from this section, from this section, and then these two sections will print separately. And there will be rods that connect them so they can't come apart this way. And then these ones will be screwed into this piece, and then the back side of here will be screwed into that. If I turn on like my sketches, you can kind of see where I'm going to put the screw holes. And then on the bottom can't separate because it's got wedges designed into it. So none of it can separate. Where it's not screwed in, it'll be wedged in. So that's that'll be pretty secure. Alright, but now we gotta do the drawers. So let's get into that. We'll go ahead and minimize that. And we're going to measure the distance between that face and that face. So that's 155 millimeters. Alright, let's do it again. Should be the same. Should be, both sides should be exactly the same. 155. Cool. So we have exactly 155 millimeters to play with for the drawers, but I want some clearance. So if I have 2.5 millimeters clearance on each side, that means the drawers will be 150 millimeters wide. So let's go ahead and look at the distance. Actually, I'll put that in chat too. So 150 millimeters wide for the drawers. And then we're going to do front to back. So I don't want the drawer. You know, I guess I do. I'm going to have to print the drawers in 2 pieces. That's the only way. But let's go ahead and take another measurement. We can close it out. We'll get the distance from the front. What's that? Yeah, to that face. Actually, that's not right. That's not right at all. We'll close it. It's 360 millimeters. Yeah, but that's not how we're going to do that. Let's see. We'll get a better measurement. So the back wall to like this face. Alright, so we have 378 millimeters total. What is going on with my chat window? Something hidden from me? Hold on. Let me grab my phone because my OBS looks kind of messed up. I'm going to open up my stream with my phone. Let's see how it looks on my phone. That's so weird. On OBS, there's like a big gap there. Okay, I'll just leave that there to the side. Alright, so what do we got? 378 millimeters long. Millimeters long. Alright, that is too long for my 3D print bed. Which makes sense because the entire 3D printer is going to sit on this. So the this can't be smaller than my print bed, you know what I mean? Because the whole thing's going to sit on it. It's got to be bigger than the 3D printer. So I'm going to have to find a way to design it split to where it doesn't interfere with the track here and here on the sides. But that's okay, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Alright, so we know our overall dimensions for front to back. It's actually going to be less than 378. I'll make it like 375. So we'll do 150 by 375. That gives us a little bit of clearance in the back. Because we're actually going to put magnets back there. Because when it closes, I want it to stay closed. So if I put like a few magnets back here and a few magnets on the back of the drawer, when it closes, it'll kind of snap closed. It'll snap to the magnets. The other option would be on the drawer face. I could put magnets here and here and put magnets on the back of the drawer face and have it snap closed from the front. But I don't want to put stress on the front of the drawer because it's going to be a separate piece from the back. So, and let's get a height too, because we want to get a height. Our height should be less than our machine. Actually, you know what? This is pretty good height right here. Let's do that. So we get a height from the top of this to the top of this. Alright, so we got 88.5. Right? So let's actually, we're in a round down. We're going to make it a little shorter than that. Let's just make it 85. Even numbers. 85 millimeters tall. See, I didn't plan for this stuff. I probably should have planned for it, but that's no fun, right? We'll do another inspect. Let's get the bottom. To here. Alright, so that's 34.5. What I should do is get it to the middle point. So, close it out. Let's do that. We'll go to sketch. We want to see this right here. It's the wrong side of this. Okay, I'll just kind of move this over. That middle line right there. Yeah, that middle line, that's what we want. Can I get a measurement from the line? To the top of this plane? Is that like a thing? Distance 46. I don't know if that's entirely accurate. Let's try something else. That's 92. Half of 92 is 46. Yeah, so it's not giving me an accurate measurement. Yeah, see both sides are 92, so it's giving me a halfway measurement from the top to there. Why can't I measure? Oh, hold on. Maybe I clicked that by accident. Let's try again. We'll try it from here to here. It's still giving me 46. That's okay. We can do some simple math. Alright, let's minimize that. So we know it's 46 from the center all the way to the bottom, right? So if we get the top of this to the bottom of it, right? So 46 minus 3.5 is 42.5. Alright, so 42.5. So I want to have at least, let's do 2.5 millimeters clearance, right, from the bottom. So then we'll make it 40 millimeters to center. We want height. That's not how you spell height, it's EI. Alright, so if we make it 40, how much is the top half going to be? So we said it was 80 millimeters, right? We said it was going to be 85 millimeters tall. Let's measure again. To the top of here. It's 88. Alright. So 88 minus 40 is going to be 45, which is how much we have left. So I made it 2.5. So I'll have 1 millimeter lower than this, which that's fine, because this is still lower than these right here. Like if I check that, it was 1 millimeter lower. But if I check the distance between this plane and this plane, we have 7. So it'll be 8 millimeters lower than this. I'm okay with that. I am a-okay with that. Let's roll with it. And then if I have an issue, we'll cross that bridge later. So now we got our dimensions. Let's go into design. So we'll start with the bottom of the drawer. Hey Slade, thank you for the lurk, man. I appreciate it. I see you lurking in there. So this isn't super exciting stuff. Let's put on a playlist. Get some lo-fi beats playing. There we go. And let's turn it up a little bit. There we go. Take a drink of my tea. Alright, we're going to start with the sketch on the bottom. Alright, and our outside dimensions for the drawers are going to be 150 by 375. So we'll sketch a 2-point triangle, right? And we'll make it 375 long. Alright, and 150 wide. Boom. Cool. And what we're actually going to do, we can extrude as a shell and like cut the top off. That might be the easier way. And then just kind of round the corners. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright, we're going to rename this sketch. Where is it at rename? And it is going to be base. No, let's call it drawer bottom. Drawer bottom. Boom. So that's the name of the sketch. I don't think I need to do anything else to this yet. I might have to come back and edit later. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and do an extrude on this. Where's the extrude command? Is not here? Really? Cool. Oh, it's right there. It used to be like right in here somewhere. Now they want you to put holes or revolve and stuff. It's weird. They changed this layout. Alright, we're going to extrude this. Alright, and how tall do we want to make it? Alright, we're going to make it 85 millimeters tall. So we'll go 85. Boom. Now if we come up here. Actually, hold on. Let's redo that sketch. Right? We're going to actually make it taller. So let's make the drawers 3 millimeters wide. Right? Or like not wide, but the walls. We'll make the walls 3 millimeters, right? So actually make it 88 millimeters tall. This will make sense in a second, right? So I made it 3 millimeters taller than it needs to be, because now I'm going to shell it. So if I click, hold on, I don't want the face. If I click the body, we're going to rename the body too. So rename to drawer.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Hey Delta, thank you for the check-in. Appreciate you. And the other thing we're going to do, because we're going to also take away the front of it. Actually, no, I'll leave the front there. I'll leave the front there. So let's just come over here. Click on it. We're going to shell it. We want 3 millimeters inside thickness. Right? Boom. Now we'll come over and we'll extrude it again for a negative 3 millimeters. Boom. Now our drawer is going to be 3 millimeters wide. The height should be our initial height. We're making some drawers. So I designed a riser for my 3D printer, right? So it's obviously bigger than my 3D printer is. I've got a French cleat over here to hold the purge bin, right, for the printer poop. I've got channels for the bearings, so it's a little bit thin right here, but this is not structural at all. It is like right here underneath because these are gonna be screwed down into it, and the back pieces are gonna be screwed into it as well. So, and then the bottoms, I have these kind of wedge designs in here. So it's going to be a pretty tight fit. So it's going to be pretty tight. And if my tolerances are too tight, then I'll have to come back to the drawing board, but my changes won't be that bad. I do have cutouts for the legs of the printer because the legs extend out past the bottom of the body, and then the wiring comes out right here. So I have a Bamboo Lab A1. So that's what this is going to be, just a riser station for it with a poop bin off to the side. So now I'm just designing the drawers. So yeah. Oh yeah, the A1 is really good. It's a workhorse. I just got it 2024 Christmas. So I've had it a little over a year. So these are going to be my drawers for it. So I got the overall dimensions built into it. I just shelved it and took the top of it off. So I'm going to have to put little spots in the back of it for magnets. And then I'm going to have to do the same thing back here for magnets. That way it has a nice positive click closed. You're making board game tones on stream last night? That's what's up. I guess I don't have live alerts when you go live for some reason. I need to check that out. Because I didn't. What time did you go live last night? Because that bothers me. Let me just double check, make sure my dimensions are right here. We'll go from the top to the bottom. This should be 85. Yep, it's 85. Cool. Alright. Let's find the center point so that we can put the 4 holes for our bearings. I'm doing Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. That's probably part of the reason, because my kid is still awake at 7. She goes to bed around 8, 8:30. That's why I usually go live around 9. So. But if I am available, I will definitely tune in. I'll definitely pull your stream up, for sure. So I'm going to have to do 4 different sketches. So I'm going to put this one will be duplicated of that one, the spot for the magnets, and then the mounting system for the drawer face. So this isn't too terribly difficult. So we'll do the first sketch here. Alright. All we need is a line. You know what? Why don't I not do that? Like, let's do an actual box. We'll do it from the origin. And I'll make it the same size. 85, 375. Perfect. Now we'll do the line. Oop. Now we'll do the line. Alright. And we are going to make sure. What is it? 40 millimeters to center height? Alright. So we want to make this 40. Oh, did I make it? I did make it midpoint. Alright, so we're not undo. I didn't mean to make it midpoint. We'll come down here. I should have noticed. Oop. Now we're going to constrain it to 40 millimeters. Boom. So this is the center point. I know it's not centered on here, but it is centered to the center of the channels for the bearings. So the reason it's not centered top to bottom is because I had to account for these. So, and I had to make sure it was under this. So now we have our center points. We want 4 bearings. We want them to come about 5 millimeters off the front and back, and then spaced out evenly. So I need to pull up to see how. Let's pull up a browser real quick. Bamboo Lab. Nope, that's not what I want. That's their. I'll go to their actual website. Maker World. We want supply. Maker supply. Parts components. Alright, we're going to come down to bearings. Which one was it? Close it out. It was this one. Oh, and the ones I was going to order are out. That's awesome. I'm going to keep the design though, because I can always find other ones that are like this. Alright, so our total diameter. Wait. How is the inner diameter here 7 and this whole diameter is 8? That doesn't make sense. There's no way that's 1 millimeter. Oh, I'm reading it wrong. Height. This is 7. I'm so dumb. It's 22. 22. We can minimize that. Let me like double check, because now I feel like an idiot, that this is a 23 millimeter gap, or 22.2. Come on. Show it to me. Sometimes you can get it to show through, but I guess not. 23, okay. So I give myself a little more clearance than I need. We can close it out. But that's fine. So we want to be about 11 millimeters in, plus some clearance, so we'll make it 11 and a half. So let's get it points. Alright, and we'll do the same thing over here. I don't really care what these two are. We're just going to constrain that to be 11.5. No, let's do 12. Let's just do a 12. Give myself more room than I need. Same thing on this side. 12. Boom. Inspect the distance from there to there. $351. $351 divided by 3 is 117. All right, cool. Close. Put that back. So now then, if I come here to that one, 117. Same thing. 117. Oops, 117. And then if I measure here to here, it should be 117. Yep, cool. Done. So now they're all four evenly spaced apart. Rename this. This is going to be, I guess it's the left side. Drawer left side. I'll just put drawer left. No need to make it complicated. Yeah. Does not need to be overly complicated at all. Cool. So now we got our points. I'll just leave. We'll finish the sketch. Leave it visible. There we go. Alright, so these holes I'm going to create, or these spots I'm going to create, you know, I should do circles. Let me go back into the sketch. Center of the circle. I believe it's 8 millimeters. No, 7. 7.2. Is that right? Let me pull this up. That was 7. This diameter is 8. Okay, so it is 8, so 8.2. 8.2. Boom. That way my center stud can kind of go into this a little bit. So we're going to extrude just like 0.5 millimeter in. But then we're also going to have a hole here. So then we also need to create another circle. I don't know how wide the screws are. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let me just double check my screw width. I'll grab my micrometer real quick. Just hang tight with me, guys. Alright, I'm back. So my screws are 3.8 millimeters. So that's perfect. We'll make it 4. Boom. Right? And then we're going to come to the same thing here. Now there's a way to like automate this so I don't have to do this. I don't know what that process is. So like you can copy it. Right? But I don't know how to do that. I might be a tech guy, but I don't know everything. Oh, that's 4. No, hold on, I said 4. Did that? Hold on. That doesn't tell me. Hold on. 2, okay. Okay, that's my third one. And then we got last one. Create 8.2. And then create a last one. It's gonna be 4. Alright, now we'll finish the sketch. Alright, so we're gonna do 2 extrudes on this side, right? So the first one, we'll just hit E and we'll select our faces. Right, and we're going to do a negative 0.5, right, and we're going to do another extrude on these circles, right, and that's going to be -3, but that'll make a hole. So now if I come up, you can see straight through. So this way, the pegs for our bearings, I'm going to make pegs for the bearings to attach to. The pegs will rest inside the bigger hole, and there's a screw hole just wide enough for the screw to feed into the peg. Alright. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. I wonder if there's a way. Create offset plane? That's not what I want. Is there a way to like duplicate it? I don't think there is. If there is, I don't know it. Flash, thank you for the lurk there, bud. Appreciate you, man. I'm just gonna redo the whole thing. I don't care. This isn't terribly difficult. Okay, we'll start with the box. The box will be the same size as our drawer. Alright, and then we'll make a line. our line needs to be 40 millimeters. Right? And then we need to create some dots. So let's do the dots first. We need 4 points. Doesn't matter where they are. We're going to constrain them here. 12. 12. 117. 117. And then just for posterity. Boom. 117. Alright, cool. Close that. So, we got our dots. Let's zoom in. Let's make our circles. Alright, so we're going to do 8.2. And 4. Is there a quick button for circle? There's not. Okay, that's fine. 8.2. 4. What I should have done is like parametric designs, because then I can just edit my values for the parametric features if I ever have to make changes, because now every dimension that I change I have to do every single one individually. So just hindsight. Parametric does make things way easier if you have to go back and edit stuff or change things. So cool, we can finish that now. We'll zoom in. We'll do an extrude. We want to select the outer part of the circles. Alright, cool. And we're going to offset them just -0.5. Right? And then we're going to do another extrude on the inner circles to make holes. Right? And this is going to be 3. Oh, no, not -3. -3. There we go. Boom. Alright. And it looks like there's nothing through there because we're looking all the way through the other holes. So that is one of the neat things about Fusion 360. Is when you do sketches, it kind of makes it right there in front of you on the plane. So this is the back of the drawer. We're going to make a sketch here. Right, and we're going to create a box, same size. Right, and then we're also going to create another box within it. Doesn't matter what it is. So now, let me just double check. Hold on. The width should be 150, right? Yeah, 150. Alright, so what I'll do... make it 100. Right? And then what is our height? I forget our dimensions already. 85. Okay, so we 85. So we'll make it 50. What do you think? 50? 50 looks good. Yeah, cool. So what we'll do now... That's not, no, hold on, not equal. Where's the midpoint? No, I don't, if I do midpoint, it'll do midpoint. You know what, it's 25, it's fine, I know what it is. I'll just do it the other way. 25, that centers that, And then 35 divided by 2 is what? 17.5? Right? Let me just double check. So this should be 25. It is. Alright, and then... oh, shoot. This should be 17.5. It is. Alright, cool. So now we're going to create 2 different circles here. Alright. So I'm going to use 8x2 millimeter magnets. So what we're going to do is make it 8.2. Give me a little bit of clearance. Then we'll make a second one. 10.2. This will make sense here in a minute. So we got 8.2 and 10.2. 10.2. 8.2. 10.2. 8.2. Cool. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to finish this sketch. This is where the magnets are going to be, right? But they're going to be 8x3 magnets. So what I've got to do is come in here, and we're going to extrude them out 3 millimeters, right? So we'll do extrude. This is going to look kind of ugly. 3 millimeters. Right? But now look, it looks really ugly, right? So what I've got to do is a, what's it called? It's not a chamfer. Is it a draft? I don't know what it's called. Let's see what happens. Let's try a draft. Let's just give it a shot. I don't know. So we want face. This. And the pull direction this. Right? Let's see what happens when I do 45. That made it shorter. I don't want to make it shorter. Symmetric. Alright, maybe not 2 side. 1 side. What happens if I do negative 45? That's not right either. Cancel. Maybe what I want to do is a draft the other way. So when I'll do draft, we'll do this face and the pull direction. No, undo. Cancel. So the face of this, pull direction. Come on now. Face. This face. Pull direction. Why can't... It won't let me select it. Let's see. I guess I can't do it that way. I know there's a way to do it. Yeah, see, it's giving me an error. Yeah, close. Equal distance. To distance. Cancel. Let's see. If I select it. Yeah, it's trying to chamfer this part of it, and I want it to, like, come out. Maybe that's what I want. Let's try that. Let's try loft. So it won't let me select just this piece. It's not letting me do it. What if I tried? Try changing input swapping profiles for Rails. So then this one we'll delete. Come on, why won't you let me do a rail? Does not touch all the profiles. I don't understand what it wants. So that's not gonna work. I think what I want to do is draft it. See, this is where knowing how to do certain things in this program comes in really handy, because this is something that I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to tell it what I want to do. Part line draft angle, planar. Pull direction, parting tool, faces draft, and specify the angle of the draft. See, this is what I want. So if I wanted to select this as a face, right, and my pull direction is here, right, let's see what happens when I put 45. That's what I want. That is what I wanted right there. See that? Perfect. Boom. Alright, so now we gotta do that a couple more times. See, I knew I had it. So we want, this is a face. This is a pull direction. Perfect. Right, I'll do it again. Do the face first, then the pull direction. See, I knew I had it right the first time. Select this is a face. This is a pull direction. Done. I'm not the brightest guy out there, but I know a few tricks. Alright, so that'll be the holes for the magnets. Right. As it prints, it won't have any overhangs here, and this bridging distance is so small that it won't have a problem printing it. And if for some reason it does, then I can carve out some excess material. So we've got our 4 holes for the magnets. We've got our 4 holes on each side for the bearings. Now, what we've got to do is find a way to attach our drawer face to the front of the drawer. Right? So what I might do I might just leave it this way and then just glue it to it. I think that'll be the easiest thing to do. Why make a mechanical connector when glue will suffice? 'Cause no, I will put screws into it because I want to be able to pull the drawer, so I'm going to have like a little knob here. So let's do that. We will put a hole in there. Yeah, we're going to put a knob right in the center. Actually, no, I won't. What I'll do, I'll design it to have like an overhang and pull, and I'll 3D print the whole thing as one piece, and it'll just be glued on. That's the way to go. So that drawer's pretty much done then. That's crazy. I just got to find a way to cut it and make connectors and also round my edges. So let's do that first. Oh, you know what else I should do? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to create... What's going to be the best way to do this? I guess I need to do it on the sides. That way it'll slide on the front. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do it on the sides. Alright. So let's do another sketch. We'll do sketches on the inside here. So create a sketch on this plane. What sucks is I've got to come in like this. We're going to make a box. Right? And now we'll make a line. Hey, stop. Stop getting hung up on that. Why are you getting hung up on the hole? Dude, what is going on here? Can I just make a line across? Thank you. Cool, okay. Alright. I think that should be fine. Because I'm just going to make this into like a single, somewhat of a rail. It's going to be a little different. We can finish the sketch. Oh shoot, this was rename drawer, right? this one. You know what? I'm just gonna rename it outside. Outside back. Rename. Outside right. Rename. Outside left. Cool. Now this one. Rename. Inside left. Cool. So extrude on this. We will make it 5. That's way more than it needs to be. Just trying to think of the best way to make a design to where I can have a drawer slide back and forth in the drawer. Like a tray. That I can lift out if I need to. I love it beefy in the bottom, but that's okay. Do the same thing on this side. Create sketch. Right, and we're going to create a box. Cool. Now create a line. Oh no, constrain the line to be 45. Finish the sketch. Extrude the bottom 5 millimeters. Rename inside right. And then just real quick, we're gonna make sure 45. Cool. All right. So now we got like our little interior rails built for another drawer to slide around on top of here. Cool. Alright, so we are going to now create another sketch for the back side. We're going to put one single magnet in the back, one single magnet in the front. So let's kind of position this way. We're going to create a box. The box is going to be only there to there. Then we're going to create a line. I want the line to be in the midpoint, 90 degrees to the other midpoint. Then we're going to create a point. We want that to be in the middle point of that line. And then doing the same thing I did earlier, we're going to create 2 circles. 8.2 and 10.2. Hey, Black and Yellow, how you doing?
Black and yellow, black and yellow. Yeah, you know what it is. Everything I do, I do it big. Yeah,
That's what's up. How you doing tonight? Alright, so now that we've created this sketch. Doing good, fam. How are you doing today, Legend? I'm good. Just another day of contemplating of life, being push-ups and smoke breaks. I don't smoke. So let's get that straight, little AI bot. So, yeah, we're doing some 3D modeling right now. So, let me see. We're going to extrude this 3 millimeters out. And then we are going to do a draft. pull direction is the outer of this ring. The face is going to be the outside, 45 degrees, okay. And that's going to be our spot for our magnet on the inside of the back wall. We will do the same thing to the front. So, basically, I'm going to have, this is going to be a drawer, right? Here, I'll show you the whole thing. So this is a riser station for my 3D printer. Right, so my 3D printer is going to sit on top of this. Alright, and there are cutouts for the two legs that go straight up, because they kind of stick out a little bit, and they extend from the bottom of the printer, because the bottom of the printer is actually going to sit inside this right here. And then there's a little slot for the wiring to go through. And then I've got a French cleat here that a bin is going to sit on, and the bin is going to collect the 3D printed waste from the purge bin. I've got channels in here for the drawer slides, and then the back and the top will be screwed down into it. There will be pegs that connect the sides together, and the bottom has these wedges designed into it to hold the bottom so that it doesn't bellow out. Plastic box make brain go burr. I dig it. Yeah. So yeah, it's just basically a box that my 3D printer is going to sit on that gives me some organization, because I don't like the one that's on there now. It wastes a lot of space, the one that's in there now, and I only have one drawer, and the other side is for my purge waste. And this way I'll have two separate drawers and purge waste off to the side. So that's my goal, to have extra room for storage. That way I have room for my maintenance kit and other supplies on one side, and then spare parts on the other side. Right, so I'll have like maintenance kit, cleaning supplies, all that fun stuff here, and then on the other side I'll have spare parts. Because 3D printers require a lot of maintenance. So you've got to take care of them, you've got to have spare nozzles, just various things. So, and I also have nozzles in various sizes. It's basically a 3D printer shelf that the 3D printer is going to sit on that is going to have storage inside of it. Right, so this is the main body of it. And then here is what the drawers are going to look like. So, let me zoom out a little bit, and I'll turn this. So this is the front of the drawer. This is not the face. The face is going to attach to this part. Right? Then you got the left and the right sides, and the back side, right? So what these spots for that you see on the back side, both the in and the out, are for magnets. So I'm going to put some magnets in here, and what I'm going to have to design in here is the same spots. Those magnets are on the other side. Put magnets in here too. That way when it closes, it magnetizes to itself. Like the drawer magnetizes to the body, and it stays closed. Vibrations from the 3D printer moving around aren't going to cause the drawer to slide open on its own, right? And then the reason there's one on the back side, there's going to be one on the front too, is because inside the drawer is going to be another drawer that's going to sit on these two rails. It's just going to sit on top, and I can slide it back and forth or lift it out. So props to you for the level of care you give in the process machines. I don't have the attention span to be a 3 daddy. My dad also gave up maintaining bit 3D printer. Yeah. 3D printers they're a lot of work, but they're fun. Yeah, his 3D printer. I know what you meant, I got you. So, but this is just a neat project, and I thought it would be something kind of fun to do. So that's why I'm doing it. So, and I'm hoping that my design works the first time. If I have to redo the design, I can redo it. It's no big deal. So I'm going to basically make a sketch on the front side and the inside that mirrors the one I put on the back. So, and all I did was create a box that is just the top section. And then I created a line, and I constrained the line to the midpoints of the sides. And then I made a point. Where is that? Where's point? There it is. Point. And that is constrained to the midpoint there. And then circles. So my magnets are 8.2 millimeters wide. Right? But I need something for them to attach to. And I want them to be centered. So then we create another circle. Just 2 millimeters wider than that one. And then we finish our sketch. We do an extrude. We select the top and bottom halves because there's a line separating them. We're going to extrude it 3 millimeters. Right? And then we come over to draft. We select this as our pull face. And this is our face that's going to be pulled. Or pull direction in our pull face. There we go. And boom. So now there's a little spot in there for the magnet to sit inside of. And the only bridging that's going to happen when it prints, because it prints layer by layer like this, like across, up, 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 up. So this material, because it's at a 45-degree angle, there's no bridging. But then when it gets up here, it's going to have to bridge just a little bit around the top of this. So if for some reason it's not completely round, because sometimes it's not, because it's got to print from the bottom to the top, I can always take just a little bit of material out to get those magnets fit. Or I can leave it really, really tight and force the magnets in there, and then they'll never come out. So, 2 different options.
I remember my first time.
Hey, Death Daddy, how you doing? Thank you for the first time chat. We're in here doing some 3D modeling. So we're doing some, making some drawers for my 3D printer. How are you doing tonight? I think that's going to be it for the body of the drawer. I just need to make the corners not so hard. So we're going to round some of these corners off a little bit. We're going to round the inside a little bit harder than the outside. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we're going to come over and fillet it with the bottom face. This edge. Yeah, this edge too, why not? I want my interior parts to be a harder fillet than like my outside corners. So we're going to do 2 separate ones. Right. So, and by selecting the whole bottom, it's going to do all 4 sides. Basically everything connected to that. Let's make it like, I don't know, 3 millimeters. That didn't work. Hold on. Come over here. 3 millimeters. Not 300. Jesus. 3. There we go. So that kind of rounded my corners a little bit there. See how those corners aren't so hard now? So the 3 millimeter walls with 3 millimeter fillets basically puts like a radius on the corners, so they're not so hard. And since these shelves are only 5 millimeters wide, I don't want to do a 3 millimeter right there. What I will do, open this back up. Hold on, come on, open up. There we go. We're going to create a second one in here. We're going to do this edge and this edge, right? And we're just going to make them
I remember my first time.
by 1. And that kind of makes it to where that edge isn't quite so hard. Hey, how do you say it? Technograve? There we go, yeah, Technograve. We are building some drawers for my 3D printer to sit on. So I've got a Bamboo Lab A1. And I don't like the setup that's in there now. So I'm making my own. Yes, that makes all the corners on the inside smoother. But then this one's not smooth, but that's okay because my inner drawer is going to sit on top of this shelf right here on the sides. Yeah, so I'll show you the whole station. So I've shown it a few times, but here's the overall model, like the body. And I've got to print it in pieces because my print bed's only 255 by 255 by 255. Right, so this corner piece, this whole thing is one piece, one body. Same thing with this piece and this piece here and this piece here. And then the middle sections will print two separate pieces. There will be pegs that can join the two sides. They're going to be inside of it. The front will have screws go down into this, and the back will have screws to go into the back side of that. And if you look, it's kind of inset inside there. So I designed that way. And then the bottoms have wedges built into these supports in the bottoms. That way it can't mushroom out from the bottom. So it should be fairly secure. And then I've got channels for the bearings, for the drawers. And then I've got a French cleat right here to hang the purge bin for the 3D printed waste. So, man gotta do what a man gotta do. Looks solid. Yeah. Like I said, I don't like the one I've got now. So the one I've got now, it's got two drawers, and I 3D printed it. I didn't design it. I paid for the file. But basically, this side has storage, and then this side is the purge bin for the 3D printed waste. And there's a chute that comes down that kind of feeds into the side of it to fill the purge bin up. So the drawers are shorter because the chute has to kind of come in from the top of the drawer and feed into it. So like the drawer is shorter, so I lose storage space there. So that's why I'm having it hang off the side, because the purge goes off to the side anyways. But then I can make the drawers bigger, right? And then so on one side I'll have my maintenance kit and cleaning supplies, maintenance supplies, all that fun stuff. And on the other side I'll have like my spare parts. So extra nozzles, extra silicone covers for the nozzles, some PTFE tubes, and just various parts and stuff. I've got to keep drinking tea because I'm talking too much. So I am going to have to come back and edit this, because the back of the drawer is going to have magnets. So I've got to design a spot on here to put magnets inside the plastic so that when the drawer closes, these magnets stick to the other magnets, and the drawer doesn't vibrate open as the 3D printer is moving around, like in 3D printing, like it's a bed slinger, so the bed is moving back and forth as it prints. It creates a lot of vibrations. And I want the drawers to stay closed. So I figured magnets. Jesse Pinkman would say, science, bitch. So, and then I've got like this outer drawer shell. And then I've got ledges off to the sides of it. And I'm going to have a secondary drawer on top of the inside of this drawer. Right? And that drawer will be half the size of this one, lengthwise. And so it can slide to the back or slide to the front, or I can just lift it out and take it out. So that's my goal anyways. And then I've got holes for where the bearings are going to come through. So basically there's going to be a peg that goes into the bearing, and I have to screw the peg in from the inside of the drawer. So the screw is going to come from inside out into that peg that holds the bearing on. So that way I can take the drawers out. Maybe a little felt buffer. I shouldn't need to. So what I'll do is in the slicer, so I'll find out exactly where in here I need to put the holes. And what I'll do in my slicer, because I use Bamboo Lab Studio, where the marks are, there I'll put the magnets embedded into the plastic. right? So you won't even see the magnets. They'll be inside of this. So when it snaps closed, these magnets on the back of here are not going to hit the magnets in here. They're going to hit the plastic. So, I mean, I could always line it with felt, but I probably don't need to. So there'll be like a 0.2 millimeter gap between the plastic and the magnets. Yeah. Because this is going to print. So because I have to print this corner piece as one piece, I can't lay it on this side because I'll have too much support material because of the French cleat, right? So what I'm going to do, this side is going to print flat on the bed. And I'm going to use a brim because I don't want it to shift as it prints this transition right here, this 15 millimeter curve, right? So I don't want there to be an issue with that, so I'm going to put a brim on it just in case. There might be some support material right here to connect this, but that's going to be very minimal. And then I won't need supports in my channels, right? Same thing for this piece. So I'll print it the same exact orientation. There's going to be supports between here, and there's going to be supports between here, but there won't be supports here because this line right here is separating these two pieces. So, and then basically the same thing. This is going to print on the print bed, and then I won't need supports for the front of it. So it'll look kind of funky because of the, like, this will be printed in the air and this will be printed flat on the bed, so the textures won't match, but I really don't care. I might attach something to the sides of it, like a bed scraper or something. So like, I don't care, the texture's not going to match. So, I mean, this one I got to be creative with. And you know what, I might just not print it that way. I might just print it with this being the only point in contact with the bed and have it print straight up. I might do that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. These are going to print vertical, so they're not going to print like this. They're going to print vertical, so yeah. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
I remember my first time.
How do the middle walls look? I haven't designed. I'm making a riser station for my 3D printer, so it's gonna have some drawers and stuff. I don't know what you mean by the walls. Do you mean like this? This isn't structural. This is basically, I mean, it is. These are gonna be screwed into it, and the back, it's gonna hold the back together too. But that's gonna be the only part. Other than that, it's not gonna hold any weight. It's mainly for the channels, for the bearings to sit on for the drawers. So, and then I've got the bin off to the side for the purge waste. Yeah, the bottom. Yeah, so the bottom's gonna be wedged in. So these wedges are gonna print flat, and then I don't even have to glue them. Like, it's gonna be a tight fit. That might be too tight. I might have to actually cut some of the material away when I go to put it together, but we'll see. I do not have an engineering background. I am self-taught. Yeah, it's just a hobby. Yeah, they're not interlocking. They're just gonna, the weight from the 3D printer is what's gonna hold the drawer, the body down on top of these. And I can show you, hold on. So I designed it so that they can't shift, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to bodies, and I will turn off the middle. Where's the middle front? Here's middle front, right? So if you look, this is what's going to kind of help stabilize them. They're like, there's little sections that are raised up in the wedges, and it's the same thing on the rest of these, right? So I kind of designed these little ledges to kind of like stabilize it, so they can never come out. At least not on their own. Yeah, exactly. Like dovetails. I know what you mean. So I have 3D printed a lot. I like to do mostly functional stuff. I've only designed stuff that is geometric shapes, right? Like this is kind of a geometric shape. It's mostly just a box with a bunch of boxes inside of it and some nice fillets and some nice chamfered edges and stuff. But like the stuff that I've 3D printed that is not functional, I've printed other designs, and most of my designs that I've printed are free from other people. I 3D printed Hello Kitty figurine, which was gifted me. It's the same thing you're using. 3D printing is more complex than I realized. Yeah, 3D printing can be pretty complex. So most people that get into it, they just start printing models off of Maker World or Thingiverse or whatever. So I'm actually done with my drawer body. What I've got to do now is design this inner drawer, right? So it's going to be a little shorter. Actually, hold on, I didn't even fillet the outer edges. Let's do that first. Let's open up our fillet again. Right. I like to use one fillet for everything and then just add to it. So we're going to add now the outer edges. Hold on. I want this plane. There we go. Oh, did I select that one? Yeah, I did select that one. I don't want to select that. Oh, hold on. Cancel. What is going on? That's weird that it's like that. We're just going to select all the outer edges. All the outer edges. And the bottom, which I probably don't. Oh, unselect that. At the bottom. There we go. Alright. And we're going to make all of them 1.5 millimeter. Delete. There we go. Alright, so what that's going to do is it's going to give me nice round corners on the top, because the walls are 3 millimeters thick. Alright, so the tops are rounded over. They're not flat. It's like that all the way around. So I think that looks pretty good for the top section there. And then the other thing it did, we go to the back side real quick. Actually, hold on. I did not want to fillet this. Let me undo that. Yeah, I don't want to fillet this at all. Shoot. Constraint nightmares. Yeah, constraints can be kind of nightmarish. I don't want to. The reason I don't want to fillet this edge is because the peg has to sit in this hole. Right? So this has to be flat. So I can't fillet that. So I made a mistake. But that's okay, I can fix it. So we'll just open it back up. New. We'll select the bottom. The top. And the outside corners. Which, you know, realistically, hold on. I can just do the back wall. And instead of selecting that corner, I can select that. And make it 1.5. And do the same thing. Now I've got rounded corners. And I didn't mess up my fillets there. Or there, cool. What did it do to this, though? Oh, this doesn't look bad. It just kind of I want to see how it looks. Oh, whoa, what happened? Okay. That actually didn't do much. I just kind of give it more of a gradual curve. I don't like that. I kind of like it to be, because this part is almost printing in midair. It might be okay though. I don't know. I'm gonna delete it again. I'm gonna do it one more time. One more time. One more time. I am gonna do just the edges on the corners. Yeah. And then this top section. There we go. 1.5. Whoop. I hit enter. Hold on. 1.5. Boom. There we go. That shouldn't have messed with it. Now this should be flat. Yeah, they're flat. Cool. So, anyone clued up on Pokemon? How do you know they are legit cards? You talking about like the Pokemon game? Hey, iPhone, how you doing? Didn't see. You kind of popped in there and I didn't see that. Alright, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now, let's design the inner drawers that are going to go inside of here. And I believe this is 155 millimeters long. If I look at my, well, let's go to bodies. Select the body, drawer bottom, inspect. Whoa. Well, hold on. I'll do it the other way. 375. So half 375 is 150 plus 37.5. So 187.5. We're just gonna make it an even number. Say 190. No, make it less. Make it 180. Because magnets are gonna stick out. So you'll make it 180. What was this sketch? Close that. What was this sketch? Oh, that was the front. Or that was the back. Okay. Back inside. Rename. Inside. Oop. Inside. Go back. And then we got the inside front. Inside front. Alright, so we're going to make it 180 millimeters long. Just I have thousands found and dumped. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to find that out. So we're going to do 190 millimeters long for the inner drawer. How wide do we want them to be? Let's get my inner measurements here. So it's 140. I don't want it to be too tight. I guess 143. That way I'll have a little bit of clearance there. So 143 and a half. And the height. Alright, so we get the height too. Alright, hold on. Get out of there. Close that. Alright, so to get the height, we're going to come back into my sketch that I've got here. Let's measure the height from here to here. That's 35.5. We'll make him 30. Alright, 30 is a good number. I'm thinking. Yeah, we're close. I should have made that a little bit lower instead of centering it, but that's okay. That'll be fine. Minimize that. We're going to go ahead and save it. And it is drawer body done. First draft. Alright. Come over here. We're going to do a part design, create new. We're going to do the same thing all over again. Right, so we're going to create a sketch. We're just going to make a solid box. Nothing too crazy. So we want 143.5 by 190 long. Boom. So that is half the size. Right? I don't like that. I feel like it should be longer. We'll make it longer. I'm gonna make it longer. I can only go up to 250 millimeters wide. But I just feel like if it's half, this will put a little more than half. It'll put it about here. That's still plenty. Because I'll be able to pull it out. I'll be able to pull it out too. Yeah, that's not too bad. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. We'll finish the sketch. We'll do an extrude. Alright, it's going to be 30 millimeters tall, right? But we're going to shell it, so we're going to make it 33 and then remove the top 3. So 33 millimeters tall. See, it's not that tall. We're going to shell it. We want to shell it this. No, the whole body. Body. Come on, cancel. Shell. Body. 3 millimeters inside, enter. Extrude, top surface, -3. Now it's 30 millimeters tall with 3 millimeter wide walls and floor. We're going to rename this to little drawer. Sketch. We're going to rename bottom. Exterior bottom. Boom. Cool. Next up, we gotta create those spots, right, for where the magnets are gonna go on the outside. So, yeah, we gotta go back to the riser station. Just look at one side, doesn't matter which one. We're going to look at the inside front. We're going to inspect. Alright, so that is 18.5 millimeters. Right, we're going to close that. We're going to come over here. We're going to create a sketch. Make the box. We're going to make a line. It's 90 degrees. We are going to constrain the line to 18.5. We're going to create, first we create a dot point. We want the midpoint. Now we'll make the circles. 8.2 and 10.2. Finish sketch. Rename. Outside of the drawer. Front. Okay. Escape. Extrude. Zoom in so we get this outer circle. 3 millimeters. Well, we'll come over. We're going to draft it. The pull direction will be this face. And the face that we're going to pull is this section, 45 degrees. Done. And there's going to be our magnet for the front side. Let's do the same thing on the back. Back in a moment, what do you use for your mock-ups? I don't have any mock-ups. This is all off the top of my head. I am built different. I have ideas in my head and then I just do them sometimes. It's not the way professionals do things at all. Let me see. Same deal. 18.5. Go over here, go to points. Constrain to the center. 8.2. And another one. 10.2. Zoom in. Finish sketch. Extrude. 3 millimeters. Draft it. This face. This face. Boom. And that's where the magnets are going to go on this. So I'm going to do the same thing on this that we did on the other one. We want nice round edges on the inside and smooth edges on the outside. So we're going to do a fillet. And we're going to, let's do the inside first. We will 100% to the inside. No, we're not going to select the actual side, just the corners. Three millimeters. Nice round edges. Alright, we're going to open that back up. We're going to do another one. We want this top edge. Alright. And the bottom edge. And these corner edges. Boom. 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 And boom. And these are all going to be 1.5. Done deal. Nice smooth edges. Nice smooth edges. Right. So now what I've got to do is some kind of a grab. Well, you know what? I don't need a grab because I can just pick it up from the bottom. I can slide it back and pick the whole thing up. Yeah, I don't need a grabber. I am going to, once this is done, I'm going to design inserts. So like my tools can go in one and my nozzles can go in one and that kind of stuff. I am not going to do the inserts today. We are coming up on 2 hours. I think I've been at this for about an hour and 40 minutes. I need to save this. And it's going to be riser station inner drawers. Save it. There we go. I don't think that's too bad. It's nothing too special. It's probably a little wider than it needs to be. But I don't really have much options because it can only be as wide as these ledges will allow it to be. Alright. Next to me, the drawer faces. So if I come back to my riser station, I need to make sure I didn't mess this up. And if I did, it's not a big deal. I know what I need to fix if I did. Alright, this is 378. Right? So I come back to my riser station drawers. So that's 378. Right? If I come over here, we do an inspect the front face to this. 378. That's on the money. Like right on the money. So I should be good to make a drawer face that goes right here. Right? So that's my next step. My next step is to make a drawer face to go here that's going to print face down that I can just glue up on here. What I should do to make sure it's centered when I glue it is put like a divot in here and a divot on the other one and then line the two divots up. Like put like a little hole in the other one with a little peg on this one, maybe. I don't know. I need something to line them up though. Something so they're not off-centered. Either way, let me just come over here. Do I have a sketch for the front of this? Oh wait, no, hold on. I don't want bodies, I want sketches. Is there a front? Drawer cutouts. There is, but it's not from here. There's no center point. Yeah. Okay, no big deal. So what I can do in the body of this thing, we'll come off this, inspect this wall to this wall. Alright, so we got 355 millimeters. So what I want to do is we're going to open up a calculator. Calculator. I'm going to bring this over, right? So 355. Now I want a millimeter gap between my left side, my right side, and my center, right? Just a 1 millimeter gap. So we're going to subtract 3, right? And then divide by 2. That's 176. So the drawer faces need to be 176 millimeters long. Right, now let's get the height. So the height, they should be 1 millimeter off the floor to 1 millimeter there. Hey Slade, I see you in there. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Alright, so we want, let's get the distance there to the distance here. Right, that's 92 millimeters. And if I want a millimeter gap between both, that's going to be 90. So there's 76, 176 by 90, right? So now I can come over here, close that. I can come up here, or do a part design. Oh, create new. Did I save this? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's saved. Alright. Now this one, we're going to save it. this is gonna be, hold on, riser, station, drawer, fronts. What I should have done is just made a new folder for it, and just done like drawer fronts and inner drawers and the actual station itself. But that's fine. It's fine. Alright, so now we're doing the drawer fronts, right? So we're gonna do a sketch. Alright, let's make a box. Really simple. We'll go this way. Keep it in the positives. So 90 millimeters in that direction. 176 in that direction. Boom. Let's go back to my riser station. How thick? Hold on. What is the distance? Because that is a big gap there, right? Inspect from here to here. Okay. That is a 7 millimeter gap. So, finish the sketch, extrude 7 millimeters, which realistically, let's make it less than that. Let's make it 6.5, right? It's better to be inset just a hair than it is to have it stick out and protrude, right? So it's a little bit tall for a drawer face, but that's okay because that gives us some material to bite into when we make the connectors to connect this to this, right? So it's okay to have a little bit extra material, plus I can make a cool design and inset the design into this a little bit. But for now we got the overall dimensions. I am going to, let's hold on, let's name it first. Hold on, sketch 1, rename, and it is outer dimensions. Boom. In the body, we're going to rename to the drawer fronts, right? Just because we named it. Now we're going to fillet the edges, right? So we'll just hit fillet. We're going to select the entire body. Can I select the whole body? No, I guess I can't. I'm going to do the front, the bottom. We're going to select all the sides. We want nice smooth edges. We don't want these hard edges. So I want any edge that I make on here to be nice and smooth. So we'll just make it a single millimeter. Right? So that gives me a 1 millimeter radius around each corner. So I could do like 3.5 and make it completely round, but I don't think I want to do that. I want to have just a little bit of material. And what I might do on one side, do like Bamboo Labs, and then the other side, and inset it, and on the other side do like A1 or something. So I don't know, but I would inset that pattern, right? And then I would probably color it so it kind of pops. Right? So I think that would look cool. But I think for the drawer fronts, I think they're pretty much done. And I can design the lettering in the slicer. I don't have to design it here. I can, but it's easier in the slicer, the letters. Plus in the slicer I can paint it, so that it's more than just one solid color. Whereas I can't really paint it here. What I could do was like create a sketch and then put the letters in it and then extrude them down. But I don't feel like doing all that. I don't know if I want to do that. what I do need to do is make the, let's come back and make a sketch on this place, this surface. We're gonna do a sketch corner to corner. We're gonna make a line. Alright, so we've got a line there. I'm going to constrain the line. We'll just make it 15. I feel like that's a good number from the top. Right? And I'm going to create another line. Doesn't matter where, just down here somewhere. Right? We're going to constrain that. Right, let's make it to like the center. Actually, hold on. Cancel. No. Delete that constraint. Well, actually, hold on. Delete that line. Let's do it this way. I want the midpoint. Yeah, that's the midpoint. So this will make sense here in a minute. Midpoint line. Boom. Oh, that's not it. I guess I just do a regular line. Undo the midpoint line. We'll just create a line. We'll constrain it to the midpoints. Right, and then we'll do 2 more. This will all make sense in a minute. Oh, Claudzilla, hey! It's all her wrong. Hey Claude, how you doing tonight? We're just doing some 3D modeling. So I'm creating the drawer fronts, and now I'm doing like the drawer pulls. So they're gonna kind of come out at a 45-degree angle and overhang. So I'm gonna have to do like a sketch plane here, and I'm gonna have to do a sketch plane in like the middle of the design here. So it'll make sense when I do it. No, you're good. You do not have to apologize, girl. You are good. You never have to apologize. We're just gonna create some designs here. And what I want to do, there we go. We're going to constrain these lines. Three millimeters. We'll just make it an even 30. Constrain these to each other. They need to be 3. Make that even 30. Oh, undo. 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 There we go. First we'll constrain these 2. They need to be 3. And this needs to be 30. Boom. There we go. I was watching the rest of Bridgerton on the couch because I'm sick and I know you're sick. I know. So you don't have anything to worry about. So I get it. Alright, so this gives me an overall design that I'm going to extrude out. Let me do one more line. I'm gonna do one more. What is it? Oh, it's a box. I don't want a box. Three. There we go. Finish sketch. So cool. Alright, so what I've got to do now we're going to extrude. We're going to select the whole thing. Boom, 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 boom. This may or may not be the right way to do this. I was worried I'd miss your stream though. No, you're good. You didn't want to miss your streak is what it is. I know. I know you. Bring it up 20 millimeters. So it's going to be fairly large, but I want enough of like something to grab onto to pull the drawer forward. Right, so I'll make it 20 millimeters. Oh, hold on. Where's that extrude? Do that again. Boom. And it is a new body. Boom. Right? So notice it's body 2, but we're going to merge it and make it 1, right? So what I've got to do now in this body 2 is shell it. Right? We're going to shell it to 3 millimeters. Boom. I'm not going to name it. I'm going to leave it as body 2. This one, we're going to do a negative extrude. Right, so -3, boom. And this one, we're going to also do a -3. -3, boom. Right, so it looks ugly, right? But we're going to fix this. Click this, extrude -3. We'll get rid of that. We're going to create a sketch on here. We're just going to make the box. Boom. Make a line in the box. Constrain it. I'm not paying attention to chat. Hold on. I'll read chat in just a second. Make a 3. Finish sketch. Extrude. -3. Boom. Now then if I go back to my drawer. I forgot. I see. I love how chill it is. Yeah, I try to be chill. I try to be a chill guy. Alright, so now what I've got to do is make a line from here to there on both sides. Right? And then from here to there, parallel to it. Right? And then extrude that as a solid object all the way across. So we're going to create a sketch. We're going to have to kind of come up above this. Right? We're going to make a line from here to here. Right? And then another line from here to here. You see how it's parallel? It's already parallel. Right? We're going to finish. What I should have done, because that's not 45 degrees. Hold on. Finish. Hold on. Delete the sketch. Where's it at? Which extrude deleted the bottom? Not that one. Escape. Yeah, that one. So we're gonna delete that extrude. Can I delete that? No. Downstream features dependent upon it. Delete it anyways. See what happens. What feature was dependent upon it? I don't see any features that were dependent upon it. Yeah, nothing. You lied to me. This thing. The nice background your calm voice is nice. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I try to be a chill guy. I try to just be me. Alright, now let's create the lines. We're going to go from this corner to this corner. Yeah, it's 45 degrees. Cool. And now we're going to do it again. From this corner. And make it parallel. Boom. No, wait, hold on now. These are 45. Right? Hold on. Inspect. Yeah, it's 45. It just doesn't seem right, but I guess it is. Alright, we're just gonna finish the sketch. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it. Now we can extrude. So let's do just a -3. Done deal. See. I think I had it right the first time. I'm just gonna undo everything that I undid. Yeah, we'll leave it that way. What is my angle here? Come on. Get out of there. What is my angle here? 41 degrees. It's less than 45. Whatever. I don't care. I do care, but I can't care, if that makes sense. We're going to do a -3 and get rid of that. Show my sketch. Right. Actually, hold on. Let's get a distance first. $108. Okay, cool. Now we're going to extrude from here. 108. Join. Click that. Extrude. -3. Gone. That gives me like a nice front edge, right? So now what I'm going to do... Oh, it's all one body. Is that right? It is, cool. I thought I made it separate bodies. By the way, Claude, I was totally kidding, by the way. I don't want you to feel like...
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of
I don't want you
garbage.
to feel like I was being rude, because I'm not. Let's give it nice round edges.
It's Mr. 305 checking in for the remix.
Hope you have an awesome stream. Keeping tab while do some Discord tabs. That's cool. I want to should be ending here in the next couple minutes. But I do appreciate you, Taxman. I appreciate you a lot, man. So let's do some fillets here. We're gonna just hit fillet. I'm just gonna select all the surfaces. That way it does all the edges, right? Except for that one. I don't want to do this corner. Alright, and we're going to do a 1mm fillet. So that did everything. Gave everything nice round corners. And then it keeps my sweeping profile right there. So that's going to be the drawer pull. I was just saying, you only came in because you wanted to keep your streak. I was being facetious. I was being dumb. I know you're not like that. So, no, you're like one of the kindest people I know. So, I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. There is some overhangs. I don't know how well it's going to print without supports. Because it's going to have to bridge all the way from here to here. That's pretty far. I might enable supports, but if I do, that means I'm going to have a rough surface here, a rough surface there. So maybe. I might do maybe a PETG interface there if I'm printing in PLA. Yeah, I was kidding. You're not like that. Not at all. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. What I need to do now is find out how I'm going to put the drawer face to the drawer and make sure it's in the exact right spot. Your stuffy nose, watery eyes, itchy throat, and everything. I know. You're good. I shouldn't have said that. I know you're not feeling good. But I need to... It's been over 2 hours. I do need to finish this up. I try to keep my tech streams down to 2 hours, but I'm over that. So... Drawer... Face... First draft... So I am going to do some texture to it. We're going to like do some kind of a neat little design right in here, in this little area. So, but I am very happy with how that looks. Like it does look like a pretty professional drawer front. The drawer itself is not going to be centered. The face is not going to be centered on here because these distances are not the same. So like the top to here to the down here, like it's not the same. So I think the drawer sits like a couple millimeters above this and like 5 millimeters below this. So it's not centered, right? Like if the drawer is completely centered from the bottom of here to the top of here, that'd be different, but it's not. So, and then the middle of this is not quite the same as the edge of this, right? Because this ends like right here, where this line is, right? So there's a shorter distance between this line and this edge than there is from the middle of here to this edge. So it's not much, but it's enough that I have to do some math. So I have to figure that stuff out later. But I do all this stuff in my head. Like I designed all this. I didn't write any of this down. I did write dimensions down, like overall dimensions, to get the basic footprint. But then once I had the basic footprint, I just built it, and then I based everything else based on those dimensions. So the 2 drawers that are going to go in here, And then the inner drawers, right? So I have two of these, and they're gonna sit on the ledges. There's ledges in here. There we go. There's a ledge here and a ledge here, and a magnet's gonna go there, and there's another magnet in the front, and then there's a magnet on each side, so this can slide inside that drawer and stick to either side, and I can pull it out because it's smaller. It's not as long as this whole thing, right? So it can slide front to back, and I can pull it out if I need to. But then I got the drawer fronts. The only other thing I need to design is going to be the purge waist that's going to hang off the side of this French cleat. So that's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't think I modified this. Did I modify this? I don't know if I did. So, I only showed stuff and hide stuff. That's all I did. So, that's been saved. That's been saved. Let me just save everything. I don't know if I made any changes, but we're just going to save everything anyways. Alright. And then we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. So, it's been a lot of fun. We got a lot done. Let's see, who can we raid out to? I'm gonna see who's online. Yeah, she's not even online anymore. I hope you guys can go sleep. Thank you. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm the only one live there. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna raid out to Slick City. 'Cause I haven't raided out to her in a while. And she's a pretty good friend. She is not cozy. She's got a little bit of a mouth, but that's all good fun. She is all kinds of crazy. Slick City baby. We're gonna hit start raid. And you guys have a great night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping me company. I couldn't do all this without everybody else's support. You guys have a great night.
Hello! I just died like a dumbass. Yeah, no, I took the gold.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't have the health. Oh my god. Hi Tango, how you doing? I hope you know that we are, we got like this about an hour or so. I also just died. Unless this party is when I had like 8 lurkers. Oh shit, it does. Oh, you didn't get a shout out either. Kerber chickens are geese in Canada. They call them Kerber chickens. Oh! You're geese. You're geese and meese.
I'm not called Cobra chickens.
Well,
That's what
weird.
you call Cobra chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Spicy
wrong.
chicken. Well, I appreciate you for the raid, Tango. Sorry you don't have a freaky shout out.